Coming up on this edition of We Are Washington.
Mayor Bowser kicks off the annual celebration of DC's creative economy. Plus, it's a new home for the Washington Kastles.
No other professional tennis match has actually been played up on the roof.
A unique rooftop court at Union Market.
And later, he's celebrated by serving up half smokes. Actor comedian Tommy Davidson receives an honor as big as any in DC as his picture goes up on the wall at Ben's Chili Bowl.
Those stories are coming up. The news rundown is straight ahead. We Are Washington starts now.
Welcome to We Are Washington. I'm Cecily Fernandez.
And I'm Matt Granato. This week, we're talking about celebrating DC's creative community. 5 newly modernized schools welcome back students, and the tallest new mural in DC is making quite a statement in Northwest.
Then it's a story of a premier tennis tournament you've got to see to believe as the Kastles take their game high above the city, playing on the rooftop of Union Market. We'll have those features coming up on the way, but now let's get to the news rundown. The city's thriving creative community was on display for the launch of Mayor Bowser's 202 Creates initiative.
The annual month-long celebration highlights DC's multi-billion-dollar creative economy with a vast array of special events taking place all over the city. The diverse industries within DC's creative economy include culinary arts, fashion and cosmetology, filmmakers, visual and performing artists, and musicians.
In DC, we recognize, love, and cherish our artists and creatives, and we rely on you to tell the world that you can create in DC, live in DC, work in DC, hire people in DC, and make money in DC. Are you with me? And so that is why we're focused every single day at how we can nourish the arts, the culture, and all creatives in our city.
I think what warms my heart the most is when I walk in and I see new faces that I've never seen before, and people say this is our first time coming to a 202 Creates event. That means we're being inclusive, meeting new people, and I'm really excited about this. And then to see the residents of all 8 wards, that really means a lot to me.
During the kickoff event, Mayor Bowser announced that she's establishing a creative affairs office within DC government dedicated to amplifying arts and culture in DC. For a complete list of events, visit 202creates.com.
Many DC students across the city are starting off the school year in a newly modernized building. Mayor Bowser called it a big day in Ward 4 with the opening of the $158 million renovation at Coolidge High School, which includes the addition of the new Ida B. Wells Middle School.
Over $1.6 billion in our facilities, and provided the opportunity for us to get to this day in our modernization. In DCPS, this is our 4th consecutive year of improvement on our test scores, on our park assessments. And what we are thinking about now is how do we prepare students for college and career? So when students graduate from DCPS, when they walk across the stage, they're prepared for the next phase of life.
The middle school is built to serve up to 550 students and has state-of-the-art science spaces, an atrium, and a separate entrance for the middle school students. The reimagined Coolidge Senior High School includes modern classrooms for the school's health and sciences and mass media academies and a renovated historic theater. 2 DC elementary schools also celebrating their modernization: Morey Elementary School in Ward 6 and Kimball Elementary School in Ward 7.
Students at the newly launched Bard High School Early College program in Southeast got a chance to sit down for a roundtable discussion with Mayor Bowser and Chancellor Farabee. The students described their experience so far with the Bard program and shared their future college plans with the mayor.
This isn't like a normal school, and not a lot of people get this opportunity. Therefore, we're going to need prep to be, ready to mature and to adulthood.
It puts you on the pathway to the work world even sooner. So that's why your discussion about being emotionally ready is important, because you have a lot to deal with, but also being ready to take advantage of this opportunity. And I hope that's how all of you see it, that you have a jump start on college.
Now that kids are back at school, the district is urging motorists to slow down.
Slow down! Slow down!
Mayor Bowser hit the streets with residents as part of her #SlowDownDC campaign. The goal is to remind motorists to adhere to speed limits in school zones across the district.
More residents are getting on board with the district's Fair Shot Free Rides Taxi to Rail pilot program, which has seen a major increase in daily ridership. The T2R program gives more transportation options to residents east of the Anacostia River by providing passengers with free taxi cab rides of up to $10. It also covers free rides on the DC Circulator and recently expanded to cover 2 additional metro stations and other locations such as libraries and grocery stores. 26 district nonprofits will receive grants to enhance security at their facilities. The $2.5 million in grants is part of an effort by the city to strengthen security at places of worship. Mayor Bowser announced the awarding of the grants, which can go toward enhancements such as cameras, new doors and locks, and security personnel.
2 new affordable housing communities are coming to Ward 7. Construction is underway on Providence Place and the Strand residences. Together, the development projects in the Deanwood neighborhood will provide a total of 179 affordable units for families from the Lincoln Heights and Richardson dwellings communities.
A new report suggests better outcomes for people living with HIV in the district. The HIV/AIDS, Hepatitis, STD, and TB Administration annual report tracks DC's progress toward ending the HIV epidemic in DC. Among the findings in this year's report, the number of newly diagnosed HIV cases in the district decreased, and no babies in D.C. were born with HIV in 2018. Mayor Bowser says the report provides a roadmap for reaching the goals laid out in the 90-90-90-50 plan, which aims to end the HIV epidemic in the district by 2020. A beloved lifelong Washingtonian is honored with the latest and tallest mural to join the D.C. public art landscape.
Now, it's hard to miss the 70-foot tall mural at 14th and U Streets Northwest that shows a man in a U.S. postal uniform leaning against a brick wall as he plays the saxophone. The new mural pays tribute to Buck Hill, who began performing in jazz clubs along the U Street corridor in the 1940s when the area was known as Black Broadway. He also spent 40 years as a mail carrier with the U.S. Postal Service.
I was trying to find somebody who hadn't been commemorated yet in a mural, but really kind of exemplified what the neighborhood was all about historically. And I just really loved Buck Hill's story and the iconography that came with it. And so I worked with the property owners, Snell, and together we all came up with this design that you guys see behind you. And I'm just really thankful to have been able to be a part of commemorating Buck in a neighborhood that was, one that he really loved so much and put so much of his life into.
Hill's family members, historians, jazz musicians, and the city's letter carrier union came together for the official dedication of the tallest outdoor portrait in the city. Hill's dual careers earned him the nickname the Whalen Mailman, and his mural is appropriately located across from the U.S. Post Office in the Reeves Municipal Center.
DC's local music scene took center stage for a 2-night Labor Day concert series at the Lincoln Theater. Now in its 4th year, the Free Festival showcases the diversity of DC artists performing in various musical styles, from rock and folk to jazz and hip hop and everything in between. The Labor Day Music Festival is part of Mayor Bowser's 202 Creates initiative.
Busy show today, but we have time to recap some of our top news items from the day. We'll start with the celebration of DC's creative community, the kickoff of 202 Creates. The mayor made a pair of really interesting announcements there. We're going to be having the Mayor's Arts Awards in November this year, and also the mayor is creating a new office of creative affairs in the district government, along with this great party that we had, this great event that we had with all of the music and all of the entertainment and all of the people who showed up to be a part of this great celebration.
Each year this kickoff just gets better and better.
I know, right?
You can tell it's a good party because people stay.
I know.
People were lined up. My favorite part, of course, was getting to hear our very own John Avery,
Yes.
our colleague.
He was front and center.
He was front and center. He was DJing, keeping everybody very happy. And if you want to catch more of him, you can listen to him on DC Radio.
That's right. And as we mentioned in the story, there's a lot more to check out for 202 Creates. And it really is a celebration right now, but it happens all year long. Go to 202creates.com for more information on that. Okay, finally today, the Buck Hill mural on U Street. Now, U Street's getting crowded when it comes to murals and public art. U Street is becoming a crowded place, and that's a great thing. You know, one of the things that Mayor Bowser said at the 202 Creates kickoff was that world-class cities, they celebrate the arts.
Right.
And I think that that's something that's definitely happening. Obviously, the murals that are going up in all of the wards across the city, but U Street, especially a couple of years ago, there was the mural, the senior citizen-centered mural with the innovation and all of the different elements that came together there. Not too far, just I think 2 blocks up the street from where Buck Hill's mural is.
Yeah, DC really, I think, starting to be known for some of these murals. I love them because it's a great locator. You know, you can say, hey, you know, I'm down by this restaurant. You know, it's right near that mural with Buck Hill, and yeah, but you can see how neighborhoods and cities really can start to be associated with these amazing public art displays.
Most definitely. It's like, you know, go up the street, take a left at Buck Hill.
Yes.
You know, and then turn left by the Girl Power mural down on O Street. No, so you can always find where you're at, and you can always give directions very easily that way.
Yeah, and that's important.
That's right. Okay, well, coming up, it's a tennis tournament with the best views in the city as the Kastles head to the roof of Union Market.
And later we'll catch up with comedian Tommy Davidson at Ben's Chili Bowl.
Now this is a place to take in a tennis match. No, over here. Up a little more, right here. That's right, we're on the roof of Union Market. And this is where the 2019 season for the Washington Kastles, DC's professional tennis team, is gonna play out.
We're thrilled to have the Kastles here and to have this called home for them. There's 2 major things that are going on right now in society. The first is, what does that intersection between retail, sports, and entertainment look like in really driving and strengthening community relations? That's what Union Market is about. It's about bringing people together, building those relationships, and sports seem to be a really important component of that was missing. And the second thing is, in our society right now, we need people to look up. Everybody's looking down, everybody's focused on what's in their hand instead of looking up and looking around. And so what better way to get people to look up than to actually bring them up to the rooftop here at Union Market.
What was sort of the unique challenges maybe in putting something like this together on top of Union Market?
Obviously, there are unique challenges that come with constructing anything on a rooftop. We're fortunate, though, that this building has been constructed in a way where it's always been set for additional vertical weight to be put on the building. The city was a terrific partner in making sure that we worked together with all the permitting, all of the design to move this through as fluidly as possible. And construction honestly took us 90 days. So it was a huge team effort with the city, our team, the contractor was fantastic, and the Kastles.
This is something that you're not going to see anywhere else. What's the response been from people in the community, fans, things like that, about what we have here at Union Market?
So this is a unique experience. No other professional tennis match has actually been played up on the roof. We have fantastic players here. So the reaction's been overwhelming. I think the ticket sales have gone great. I know that I personally have been overwhelmed with desire for more tickets. So I would say, as far as I can tell, it's been really just very positive and innovative. The city is always pushing itself to do things, to be a leader in building community, and I think this once again puts the city back on top of innovation.
Are there any plans for this court on top of Union Market, on top of the roof here? Are there any plans for the future, for the Castle to come back and play? What is the vision going down the road for the tennis court here?
So the vision for the rooftop at Union Market is all about building community. So before we let the stadium be constructed, we welcome everybody to a play event. And I think you can expect that that's just setting the stage of what's to come as we move forward into a public-private park and event space here on the rooftop.
building this, you had to have a vision to put this together and build this. How do you see this changing this area of the city and changing this area of Washington, D.C.?
Well, I think the biggest thing to us is this is a beautiful community here on Ward 5 in Northeast DC. So for us, it wasn't as much about change as it was about inclusion. This community has really included us to be a part of it and a part of the great institutions that are here. For me, it's a dream come true. So I played competitive tennis growing up. Unfortunately, my career had an end to it, unlike so many here. So for me, it's just been so much fun to watch the Kastles themselves, our hometown hero of Francis, of course, but also just to watch a really diverse, inclusive group of people be so engaged in the sport together.
Having tennis on a rooftop like that, I think got the attention of a lot of people who aren't necessarily big tennis fans.
Right, and I'm not like a tennis player or anything like that, but at the racket,
that's
and
quite
I was
a nice racket.
practicing. What do they call this? Like an overhand shot? Like what do they?
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know either.
Clearly, we're not tennis pros, but I'm inspired now after we had so much great tennis in this city.
Mark Ein, responsible for a lot of it,
Yeah.
owner of the Kastles. He was the managing director there of the City Open, and then obviously bringing the Kastles to the rooftop of Union Market. Yeah, that's a great way to bring more attention to the sport of tennis. We already know DC loves tennis. But this is really exposing it to different places and different people. And on the rooftop of Union Market, you're really not, where else are you seeing professional tennis played on the roof of a building in a major city like DC, you know?
Yeah, I thought it was I thought it was fantastic. And it would be a great location for the first We Are Washington tennis challenge.
Well, we could do that. And that's one of the main features of what we were talking about is that they may be coming back. Now, the Castle season's rather short, but they may be coming back to the rooftop. But if not, that space is still available up there. They might be booking.
I think we're going to need to use it.
Booking events, maybe some challenges, but nobody would want to go up against this. So,
I don't think so.
All right.
Coming up, comedian Tommy Davidson, known for his breakout performances on In Living Color, returns to his favorite spot in D.C. From Sammy Davis Jr. to President Barack Obama, you never know what you'll get when you're talking to comedian Tommy Davidson. The D.C. area comic, known for his spot-on impressions, was one of the breakout stars from In Living Color, and now joins the city's favorites on the Wall of Fame at Ben's Chili Bowl.
And as a surprise for you today, I do have a surprise for you. I'll just wait and see. You remember this?
You're joining President Obama. You're joining Denzel.
Yes.
You're joining Chris Rock. You do any impressions of any of those guys?
Well, Obama's easy. Obama can take something that's relatively unimportant and make it sound presidential. Like, for instance, Ben's Chili Bowl. Hot dog, chili, put those things together, and you got a go-go.
I want to say welcome home. Welcome back to D.C.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here, too.
Yeah, and how does it feel? How does
It feels really good. I mean, it's almost like it's almost not real. Right there at the Lincoln Theater, we used to take the bus down here and go see Godzilla and all the karate movies, and it didn't look like this down here back then. And here I am, this little kid, and we make it all the way down here, and we lived all the way up. We lived all the way up on the D.C. line, but we made it all the way downtown just to go to the movies over there, and now I'm doing movies. That's what I'm talking about.
You did good. So tell me, a lot of people know you from In Living Color. You had a lot of early success right away. I mean, very young. Did you ever imagine that all these years later, decades later, people would watch those skits and still be enjoying the work you did those years ago for In Living Color?
Yeah, I knew. I knew because we were good.
Yeah.
I knew because we were good, we were quality, and quality doesn't go out of style. So Keenen Ivory Wayans was like Professor X of the X-Men. He just took all these mutants of comedy, put them together, said, use your superpowers together, and that's what happened with the show. So we knew we were good, but to have this many years go by, it is a little surprising.
Do you have any favorite skits that you always, when people are going to YouTube and looking up, you know, some older clips, are there some that you go back to that still just make you laugh?
There's always a new one. There's always a new one. Like I thought that I had covered it. I thought the cook in the kitchen, pick it up, ding, and in Snack and Shack. I thought that was the one, the last one. And then my daughter mentioned to me the BS Brothers, where I used to be Howard Tibbs III. You got my business card? Bam! You know, and before that is Michael Jackson and Spike Lee. You know, so, you know, even if it's doing sketches with Jamie Foxx with The Ugly Woman or Fire Marshal Bill with Jim, I can't pick one.
And how have you changed as a comic?
Oh, I haven't.
Okay.
No, the only thing that's changed is I've stayed the same. You know what I mean? That's all I can say. I love comedy. I love to make people laugh. You know, I always do it from the standpoint of, you know, what's different and what's the same about us. What to look for now is my book. I got a book coming out called Tommy Davidson, Living in Color.
Okay, are you going to tell it all? Because we want to, I mean, if we're going to go buy the book, you know, we need to know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna, you know, I'll tell all. I'll tell all of what happened with me, all of how I've grown, and all that I think will help you be a more happy and fulfilled human being.
Okay, we can use some of that. We can use a lot of that right now.
Oh yeah.
Well, Tommy Davidson, you're the best.
Thank you.
And welcome back to DC. We love having you here. We hope you'll spend more time here.
Let's hear from me, Chili Boy, y'all. Come on! Yeah, DC, baby!
Okay, one last thing today. The Reach at the Kennedy Center is now open, and we brought you inside the Reach as it was being completed, and now it is completed. And they had the parade. It started there at 22nd and Virginia, and they carried it all the way through the campus of the Kennedy Center. And it ended, you could go to the North Plaza. They had all sorts of performances, you know, a big lively day to celebrate this expansion. And the Kennedy Center is seeing its first expansion since it opened back in 1971.
I think residents who come to any of the events at the Reach are going to be really surprised at just what a transformational project this is. A lot of it you couldn't really see while it was going on because it's kind of above things, and so when you really see it and take it all in, it's amazing, especially because we're so familiar with the Kennedy Center. It really hasn't changed for almost 50 years.
I know.
And now to have such a major change, I think it's going to be a lot of fun for residents to check it out.
Well, that is all the time that we have for today, but we'd like to say thank you for joining us. And hey, if you thought this was worth your time and you enjoyed yourself, hopefully, please go to YouTube and search Entertain DC. You can look at our playlist. We have hundreds of shows, features, everything that you could possibly want. We Are Washington is there for you.
Yes. See you next time.